the Fast and Furious Honda. It came in late last night on a tow truck with the owner, so I didn't get to film it, but the parking brake was locked on. The ECM wouldn't communicate, and it's a crank no start. So the tow truck driver put his scanner on it to try to unlock the parking brake, but it wouldn't communicate. And I tried to put my scanner on, it wouldn't communicate. So I checked the fuses. I found a blown 15 amp fuse that goes to the PGM-FI relay that turns on the fuel pump. So I pulled the seat off of it last night and unplugged the fuel pump, put a new fuse in it. The fuse doesn't blow anymore. So it's got a bad fuel pump or something short in the wiring between the connector and the fuel pump. And now we got to find a way to get it in the shop, which now it should communicate. The dash lit up, everything lighten up again. So I should be able to unlock the parking brake and push it in the shop. But it's a younger guy, as you can tell by the wheels, and the tires are stretched on the wheels and all that cool stuff, and it's lowered. And it's got the shocker sticker on the back window, all the required stuff that a young guy has to have on their car apparently. But he doesn't have any money, so we're waiting to see if he wants to spend the money to fix his car or just leave it here in the parking lot for a while. We'll see what happens, but I'll make a video on it if we fix it. Alright guys, we got approval. Took a week. High performance Honda Civic. It's got some damage on the seats and stuff. This kind of things make me really sad, you know. People think I criticize the customers when I point this stuff out. I just feel bad for the cars. These 15 amp fuses, it had a blown 15 amp PGM-FI fuse. I told you guys last week if you saw that video. I put a new fuse in it. As soon as I turned the key on, pow! So you couldn't communicate, and you couldn't get it out of park, and you couldn't unlock the parking brake, because as soon as you turn the key on, it would blow that fuse and communication would go down. So I don't know what that is there, but I don't want to touch it. So I got the seat apart. I unplugged the fuel pump. That's one of the things run on that circuit from the PGM-FI relay, and the fuse no longer blows. So they got us a fuel pump, and all I got to do now is get to it. That's where I unplugged it, and it no longer blows that fuse. Pretty cut and dry. Of course, the customer wanted to know how I figured that out. There's no way I could possibly prove that was the case, but the seat back comes out with 2 bolts. It's a little hinge, one on each side. I'm gonna blow some of the dirt out of there before I open it up. Jeez Louise, man. They do not give you any room to push these lines back off of here. I had to force them with my needle nose and my little baby pry bar. I had to force this one back off this tube and force this one back. So hopefully with the new ones, if you don't want to break these, I mean, you could just break these off the old one, but I didn't want to do that. It makes me feel bad breaking stuff, even if I'm replacing it. But now I'm gonna find something to push these out of my way so I can get my fuel tank retainer ring tool in there and not damage the hoses while I'm working. Hondas used to be easy to work on. A Honda 5-8 years older than this, I would have done this fuel pump in 10-15 minutes. Not anymore. And I've built myself a couple of personal assistants here with the help of some bungee cords. You can always count on them to show up for work every day. Pop that off of there, no problem. Now I only got to pull the one hose out of the way that seems to come out of the way pretty easily. I saved this clip. Some new fuel pumps come with the clip, some don't. I gotta go look in the box and see what we got. First I'm getting this thing out of here. Keep in mind too, if you do these, the tank actually, get this out of the way. The tank actually sits at an angle, so if there's a lot of gas in it, you want to raise the front of the car up so gas doesn't come out of the tank. You'll get like 2 or 3 gallons of gas pouring on the floor otherwise. So just be aware of that. I'm gonna get this thing out if there's a place I can put this hose and not damage it. There's another hose I got to disconnect from inside here, and they give you a special tool. It's right here. They give you a special tool. Come with me. There's a special tool they give you for that hose, so it doesn't fall into the tank and you don't have to stick your arms in the gas. It's the same fitting as this one. And it comes with the pump. You can stick it in there and use tie wraps or something. Tie it to the child safety restraint tab there next to the bungee cord. So I gotta hook that thing up too. Ah, interesting. Interesting, the things they do to make it weird. Now, snap that in place. Maybe it'll be easier to get it back out, but it won't fall out. I don't know. Should I be that optimistic? Tells you to push it into the gas tank, never to be seen again, so that you can get the module out. Now, ideally, you won't spill a lot of gas in the vehicle, but you know, sometimes you can't avoid it. I try to pour it back in a tank if I can, a little bit at least. This thing's out. Now we get to go look at the new pump and see if they got me the right one. All right, we got the old pump. And look at this, they got me one from Honda. Whoa, that means the chances of the part being defective right out of the box are cut in half. Now I only have 30% odds instead of 50%. And the chances of the pump being right are actually way higher. Because Honda is usually pretty good when you give them a VIN, they give you the parts. Got a new gasket, got a new retainer ring. What else did we get? Any other prizes? Instructions, everybody needs those. It's a beautiful box too, by the way, I must say. Scotty was right. Hondas never break, and they give you beautiful boxes for the parts when they do break. But that doesn't really make a lot of sense if you think about it. I try not to think it too much though, that really gets in your way. Look at this thing. Look at this thing, this is a thing of beauty. Got a custom, I mean, only Honda would mold a cover to put on the part in the box. That's pretty cool. Denso. But don't fear, just because it's in a Honda box and it says it's made by Denso. This is one of the things I get a kick about. People argue about brands, which brands are the best. The original pump, Denso. Replacement pump, Denso. So the pump's not made by Honda, Denso makes it for Honda. Similar to a lot of the other brands from the US and Germany and Korea. Parts are made by third-party vendors and suppliers. It's pretty common. So, all right, this is where the return dumps here. There's no hose attached. This is where that hose I removed I have on the lanyard. That's where that goes. And then the main line goes up here on the top of that. All right, this should be good. This is going to work. Probably got a bunch of my shiny head in your face. Sorry about that. Alright. My little lanyard tool worked. That's good. Let me bring you guys closer. Got my little lanyard thing off. Now I just got to get this to plug in. Oh man, that's nice. You know what? When a plan comes together, it's so nice. It's so rewarding. You could have one bad job after another and everything's giving you troubles. Then you do one and everything goes super smooth. The customer's car gets back to them in time. You make some money. Everybody's happy. And there's also the potential for the mechanic's curse. So you definitely got to be careful and don't rejoice or brag too early about how smooth it's all going. Because as soon as you start doing that, rejoicing and celebrating, you're in trouble, because it's going to go wrong. And that's just, it's not that I want it to happen or that anyone wants it to happen, but it does. I think it's how you kept humble. You know, you don't start getting too braggadocious. You gotta be really careful. This is all pretty sharp here. Some spots worse than others, but it's pretty sharp. This is going scrap. All right, now I gotta figure out, I got it loose with a pry bar and a hammer. I'm gonna spray some, I'll brush some white grease around there on the contacts. Try to get it a little easier to pop it back in place. All right, since the white grease was far away and this grease was close, I just used some of this synthetic brake grease. We'll see how that works. Now you gotta hit these hard, you can't play with it. You get a couple good whacks. See, it's gonna fight you. That's all right. It's all right. Don't let it beat you yet. Just be patient. Get everything back in place. There you go. That's all right. It'll probably take 2 or 3 cracks to get it to go in. Now lean into it. One more. Now that a lot of people will stop there, but you're actually aiming for the little hill here. This little hill. I'll zoom in so you can see that. This is what you're aiming for right here. You don't. This is the first part. This is where it's actually locked in. So you definitely got to give it some good beef. It is started though, so that's the good news. The other problem is angles. Sometimes you just can't get a good angle. I might need to get my long pry bar so I can get better angle on it. I think that's it. Yep, that worked. Right in on the high point there. That's where you got to be. And with a short pry bar, I was at too much of an angle, so I was approaching it here. When I came out here with a long pry bar, I could get a little flatter and straighter without having to worry about hitting the interior and the trim and stuff. Of course, that's not the correct way. You're supposed to buy the special tool for this ring, which is actually really similar to a GM. But the tool I was going to try that I thought might work is this one. It doesn't work. It has to be the one that has an ear coming down. Instead of going in between, the ear is what it focuses on. So I have to buy something else. That's cool. Get these hoses connected and see how this thing runs. Put this little plastic doodle on there. Gotta transfer your plastic doodle from the other sending unit to this one. I was hoping Honda would give you a new one, but no, they don't give you a new one. Now there's O-rings in here and stuff, so I don't want to get too crazy with it. That's the only way I got it off. How did I get it off? Must have been all luck. Must have been luck. There's a slot. There is just no room for this thing. It's not made to be repaired, it's made to be junked. Honda must have been to the training classes saying, you know, if you make it really stupid to work on, then people will just get new cars because mechanics will yell at them and get angry and make videos about how terrible it is. I'm not sure what they did, I'm not sure. Alright, now you got to plug in your fuel pump connector. Before you put the metal plate on, you got to get this plugged in. It's actually not bad. Once you get this in there, it's going to fight you, like everything does. Connectors all look good, no burn marks or anything like that. Alright, that's snapped on. Here's the odd part too, there's no screws. Very strange. These are like plastic tabs that you just turn. I need to get my Phillips, I think, because my little pocket screwdriver ain't happy about it. Isn't that the weirdest little contraption you ever seen in your life? I mean, you know, I've been doing this a long time. Matter of fact, Honda used to make it so you could just take the seat lower out and get to this, but the seat upper blocks it right here, which is really cool. Alright, enough yapping. Let's get around there to the old ignition key and see what happens. Alright. Oh, that is nice. That is the sound of Fast and Furious, my friends. Look at it. I mean, with the beautiful wheels and the stretch tires and everything, got cool stickers on it. I just wish that that he took better care of it and kept the seat a little nicer and stuff. If this was my car, I would literally have to have this seat reupholstered. I think that's actually a cover, and it's burned through the cover and the factory seat. This feels like a cover. Kind of strange. If it's original, man, it's like the worst. The car's only 4 or 5 years old. 58,000 miles. Broken Honda, 58,000 miles, guys. Someone call Scotty Kilman, get him on the phone, yell at him, something. Unsubscribe to his channel and subscribe to mine, because Scotty's not telling you the truth. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes I'm a little too happy and goofy. Sometimes I'm a little sad, because I'm a real person, you know. I'm not trying to make you think I'm somebody I'm not. But this one's fixed. I'm gonna put the seat back in there, take this thing for a drive. You guys will come for that part. I wanted to mention too, there's a sneaky bolt in here, 10mm, just for fun. They added a 10mm in there. All right, this thing is back together, heading on the road. Get off the streets, Fast and Furious is coming. I'm gonna try to drift this thing, see if we can do that. Running good, traction lights on, check engine lights on, tire lights on, airbag lights on. Okay. I'm not sure if he wants to mess with that stuff. He came in not saying it didn't start. Now it starts and runs. Oh, goodness gracious, it rides so bad. He lowered it so the suspension doesn't work, and he put low profile tires on it so the tires don't absorb anything. So basically now it's a Honda go-kart. I'm not sure why you young guys do this to your cars. God bless you. I mean, that's what you want to do. You do what you want. Don't go by what grumpy old dad Jimmy says. But, you know, if I'm driving to work every day in my car and taking trips and bringing my girlfriend out to eat and going to a movie or whatever the case may be, I want to be comfortable. I want my car to ride nice, feel like luxury. I don't know, just not for me. When I was a kid, we jacked up cars and put N50s in the back, put air shocks and N50s in the back, and then the air shocks would leak and your tires would get cut on the fenders and you have to get a tow truck. So we did stupid things when I was a kid, or stuff that was perceived by the adults as stupid. But in any event, enough babbling. This car's fixed, guys. Hope you got some from this video. A little bit unusual the way it all went down. Took a week to get approval and find the pump, so I appreciate your patience, and I hope you enjoyed it and got something from it. You got a Honda Civic you got to do this on. Now you've seen it. It's not so scary. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you torque that like button down at the bottom of your screen. Maybe give us a subscribe if you want to see some more of this kind of content. You guys are awesome. I'm going to see you in the next video. That must be like a 10-pound duck.